Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Monday, a Japanese comedy drama from 2000 that stars Shinichi Tsutsumi. It was directed by Sabu. The following plot synopsis was taken from the website Windows on Worlds. Mild-mannered salaryman Takagi, played by Shinichi Tsutsumi, wakes up in his cheap hotel room dressed in a pitch-black suit, with no recollection of how he got there. A packet of purification salt reminds him that he was going to a funeral at one point, but what happened after that? Takagi, it seems, enjoys a drink or two to ease that ever-present sense of dread and impotence that dominates his life, and so the events of the previous 2 days are lost in that pale space obscured by the booze-drenched curtain of brain fog. Spotting various reminders hidden in his room, Takagi begins to piece together his strange adventure. Now, I have not seen this particular film in a long time. It's one of those films that is best viewed with only a little bit of knowledge of the storyline. And I say that because it's difficult to tell where Monday is going, especially during the opening half. Kind of a free-flowing story that leads from one event to another. It's basically character interaction scenes, kind of like stacked next to each other. And the next event that happens is something that you may not be expecting based on what came before it. And that's what makes this a pretty intriguing film. But despite that aspect, it's actually an extremely engrossing chain of events that flows very nicely. You know, the plot almost sounds like The Hangover, which obviously came out way after this movie, but it kind of is kind of like that plot. But these are very different films, primarily because of the director. And I just recently reviewed Postman Blues, another Sabu film, and if you're familiar with that movie, or his films in general, you'll have a good idea of his directing style in Monday. In fact, if you talk to big fans of this director, Monday is usually listed near the top of their favorites of this director, and when you watch this, it's easy to see why. You know, very kind of unorthodox kind of movie, but it blends in multiple genres of film, themes, a whole host of different characters pop in and out, and it does everything in a very like distinctive way. You know, Sabu is one of those directors that has like a certain like style. You could kind of tell when he directs a movie, and that's usually the case for visionary directors. And lately I've been rewatching some of his older stuff, and I'm reminded of how good this guy really is. You know, he creates this like oddly absorbing story. You know, from beginning to end, you're intrigued. Like, where is this? Like, what's going to happen? You know? And sometimes it's just about craftsmanship, and this movie has a lot of craftsmanship. The humor is a little bit different. I'll give you an example from an early scene. There's a little bit at the beginning. It involves a family screwing up the positioning of a dead body at a wake. And there's also a bizarre request that comes in via telephone call. A pretty absurd scenario, but it's portrayed in kind of a matter-of-fact, realistic way. I think it's actually a really, really funny scene. And Tsutsumi's character himself is kind of an awkward dude who has awkward interactions with people throughout the film. But it's all very amusing. And I mentioned in my review of Postman Blues that I really love this actor, and I think he's even better in Monday than he is in Postman Blues. He has a dance scene at one point that had me rolling. It was pretty funny. So I think the humor in this actually works very well, even though it's a little bit of like an offbeat style of humor. And there's also a really good supporting cast, which I'll let you discover yourself. And then as an added bonus, I did like some of the visual aesthetic during the nighttime scenes. It has like almost like a copper hue to it, which look really nice, I think. So, yeah, I'm strongly recommending this movie from a director that I like a lot. Monday is available on YouTube with subtitles, and I'll include a link in the description box below, just because if you do a search, you might not be able to find it that easily, just because the title is very, common word. So, yeah, check this one out, folks, as well as Postman Blues, which is also on YouTube, and let me know what you think if you haven't seen these before. And as always, I'll see you next time.